You see, being born in the human shape does not alone make you human. Having knowledge about the world, sciences, humanities, and politics, and everything else does not make you human. You are human when you understand who you are. And that's something, that's the only thing rather that distinguishes us from animals. And we are not being given that education. Instead of that education, we are being given something quite blind, quite dead, quite dark. And that's culture. Who you are should be the knowledge that dictates your relationship with the other. Are you with me till now? I don't want him to be muted. I want to be hearing him continuously. We are together, right, Jashanpreet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So my relationship with you should come from a fundamental knowledge of my existential reality, who I am internally, right? I should have some knowledge of my consciousness. Where does my sense of identity come from? There is a particular way I look at the world. Where does that come from? Where do my hopes, aspirations, my fears, my despairs, where do they come from? I should know these things. And when I know myself, I also know the point from where you operate, right? I also know how vulnerable I am to being duped by my tendencies and worldly appearances. When I know that, I also know that you too are equally vulnerable. And that then governs the relationship between the two of us, right? And when I say the two of us, that does not merely mean me and you. That means me and, let's say, all 100 students who are right now in the audience. To extend that also means my relationship with entire existence, all the animals, plants, the past, the future, the various countries, the various people. So that relationship must come from a knowledge of myself, and that knowledge is something our education does not provide us. We have neglected that. Now, instead of that, our relationship with the other is being governed by conditioning flowing down from the past. And that's what we proudly call as culture in India and everywhere else. So, I may not know a thing about life. I may not know at all what it means to be alive, what it means to be called a human being. But if I am born in a particular family, the culture of that family that's going to condition me will tell me well in advance how to behave with the neighbor. And if the neighbor belongs to a different religious belief or a different caste, I have been conditioned well in advance about the way to behave with them. Have you been not? Are you given a chance to discover on your own? Nobody gets a chance. This is the way, for example, to behave with a Muslim. This is the way to behave with a Hindu, with a Buddhist, with a Christian, with a Muslim, with a Sikh. We know that already. And how do we know that? Did we inquire? Did we go out and experiment and test? Was there a zeal to find out? Was there love for truth? No, there was just age-old conditioning made sacred in the name of culture. This is our culture. This is our culture, that women have to be looked at in a particular way. That men will behave like this and women will behave like that. That this is the way the wife will behave with husband. This is the way the upper caste fellow will behave with the so-called lower caste fellow. Hmm? And this is such a lazy thing, because life is meant to be a very lively process of exploration. Huh? It's life, so there has to be liveliness, right? Now, instead of that explorative spirit, what we get is ready-made answers just handed over. What's worse is we start believing in them. We start believing in them. Anything that you take for granted, anything that you invest belief in without having known it for yourself, it's just not good for you. If you want to talk religion, then such a thing is sacrilege. Are you getting it? Huh? Now, what is it that makes this kind of conditioning sacred? It is not sacred, but people talk of it as something beyond inquiry. Huh? People talk of it as something transcendental and therefore sacred. What is it that attributes this sacredness to it? It is the association with religious books. Now, this sacredness is obviously just putative, but most people do not know that. They think that the root of this kind of culture is the great books. See, we'll have to go all the way if we want to understand what is happening in the campuses. If we are really sincerely interested in knowing why the young chap had to die by suicide, we'll have to go till the roots, right? And you'll have to have patience and the spirit to go the whole distance. So, what is it that makes us believe that this conditioning that we call as culture is indeed to be taken as sacred? A link between culture and religious books. So, culture linked with scripture is what lends an aura of sacredness to culture. Are you with me till this point? See, culture could be dismissed, especially if it is proven that culture is exploitative and violent. One could dismiss it. But when you say that your culture is flowing from scripture, then it becomes difficult to dismiss it, right?
Right, sir.
Right. Now, the thing is, in Hinduism, there are so many books, like hundreds of books, that you call as scripture. This is a problem that most other religious streams don't face. There is a central book, and that's such a great thing to have. But in Hinduism, not only do you have hundreds of books, first of all, most people do not know which among these is central. Secondly, if there is a central book in Hinduism, most of the other books totally violate that central book, and yet people continue to follow the other books because they do not know, first of all, that there is a central book, and because they have not read neither the central book nor the other books, so they do not even know that there is a contradiction. They talk of all the books in the same breath, as if the books of all of them are saying the same thing. Huh? The net result of this is that some very obnoxious beliefs continue to prevail because they get their sustenance from some verses of some scriptures. Those books are not fit to be called scriptures, but popularly they continue to be. Now, what to do with that? We need education. We need education of the self. And if you are to call yourself a Hindu or a Sikh or a Muslim, then you need to be educated in at least your own scripture. Preferably, you should be educated in all major scriptures because they are important, because they affect the life of the world. Therefore, you ought to know of them. If nothing else, then as general awareness. But we do not know of that. Neither do we have education of the self, nor do we have education of the scripture. So some very useless books, some very mediocre documents, some compilations of outdated imaginary stories. They continue to hold currency. And many of them do talk of caste. Many of them do talk of caste as something flowing from the divine. Therefore, the culture remains because culture is granted its sanctity from scripture. And when that culture remains, suicides like the one you mentioned continue to happen. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
We might be educated in technology or in commerce or in science or in arts, but internally we are very, very uneducated people. What is being? What is existence? What is the self? What does it mean to live? These questions are rarely taken up in our classrooms. Life or existence or self is nowhere a subject to be taught. Whereas that's the most important thing, because that's who we are. All the other things are for us. Mathematics is not who you are. Maths is for you, right?
Right.
Commerce is not who you are. Commerce is for your sake. A machine is not who you are. All engineering and technology and science is for your sake. So we are taught of a lot of things that are for us. But nobody is teaching us who we really are. And that is leading to a lot of blind belief to continue. Lot of blind belief. And if you challenge that belief, you will meet with a lot of resistance. People will say, this is our great culture. And if you question the culture, then as we discussed, they will say, no, if you're questioning culture, then you are questioning the scripture. And if you will question the scripture, we will attack you.
Right.
And that's when nobody has read the scripture. Especially in Hinduism, it is considered very unnecessary to really read the central canonical scripture.